Hi there. I'm Dr. Michelle May, founder of Am I Hungry? Mindful Eating Programs and Training, and the author of the Eat What You Love, Love What You Eat book series. In the last video, I talked about how New Year's can be a good time for a fresh start, but often our resolutions only focus on the actions we think we should take and the results we're hoping for. Many of you shared your own resolutions and whether they were focused on an outcome or the drivers of the outcome. Thank you. As I also mentioned in that video, if you really want to change things, you need to consider why you act in certain ways. If you haven't had a chance to watch that video, you might want to go back to it since it lays a good foundation for what I want to talk about next. Now, I know it's not always easy to make these connections, to understand why you're acting in a certain way or getting certain results, especially when those actions and results aren't what you hoped for. Have you noticed that sometimes there's a disconnect between what you say you want to do and what you actually do? This happens for a lot of people. The big question is why? To help understand it, I want to return to TFAR, the cycle I introduced in the last video. The way this works is that your thoughts influence your feelings, and those feelings lead you to act in certain ways, which generate certain results that reinforce the original thought. With repetition, the thoughts become beliefs that you no longer consciously think about, but they continue to drive your thoughts, feelings, actions, and results. That's how they become habits that keep you feeling stuck and powerless to change. The good news is you can change those habits, and I'm going to show you how. To start, think about your New Year's resolution. Now, I'd like to help you take a look at the underlying beliefs, thoughts, and feelings that might be driving those resolutions. Let's use a common resolution after the holidays, starting a new diet or exercise program. If that's your resolution, perhaps your underlying belief is, I was so out of control around food during the holidays, now I need to get back in control. Since I know I can't trust myself to manage my eating, I'm going to try fill in the blank with the latest diet. At first, you might like feeling you're finally back in control, and you might like not having to make decisions about what to eat. But after a while, you may feel overwhelmed by all the rules. You try to avoid all the bad foods, but it's really hard. When you see other people eating them, you may feel deprived, resentful, or even rebellious. Eventually, you're likely to give in and eat those forbidden foods. Then, since you feel like you've already blown it, you decide to keep eating. You end up eating more than you need or even really want. You feel defeated, guilty, and perhaps overly full and sluggish. Sound familiar? You end up proving yourself right. I'm out of control around food. I can't trust myself. If you've been through this, I hope you can be gentle with yourself because you're not alone. I've been there too, and so have many others. Being on diets makes it easy to believe that you're not capable of making decisions for yourself. But what if you recognize those underlying thoughts and shift them to more effective thoughts? Instead of continuing patterns from the past, you could think, I've felt out of control. I want to learn how to trust myself and feel in charge of my eating. When you're in charge, you feel curious and empowered. You become more aware and learn why you reach for certain foods when you do. You're able to make conscious decisions about whether to eat or do something else to address your underlying needs. Instead of giving your power away to food and the rules of the diet, you make decisions that work for you. This time, when you decide to eat a particular food, you'll know it's not because you've lost control. You can choose instead of cheat. And when you choose not to eat, you'll know it's because you made a choice, not because you're following some rule. Either way, it reinforces the thought, I can trust myself to make choices for myself. As a result, you take the power back from food and develop an entirely new belief system. I am in charge. For example, here's what Karen told me. I walked into the kitchen and stood at the refrigerator looking for something. I realized that I wasn't hungry, so why was I looking in there? I realized that most evenings when I find myself doing this, I'm not hungry but tired. And even if I choose to eat, I'll still be tired. What I needed, sleep, wasn't in there, no matter how many times I looked. I'm learning to stop and ask myself, am I hungry? And if I'm not hungry, then I ask, what am I feeling? What do I need right now? Before, Karen's underlying belief was that no matter what was wrong, she'd feel better if she ate. She was able to shift that thought to, if I'm not hungry, what I need isn't in the refrigerator. Her new pattern is to notice whether she's hungry when she wants to eat. If she's not, she knows food probably won't help. She can still eat if she wants to, but the beauty is she's learning how to meet her real needs. And when she is hungry, she enjoys food more without guilt. With new skills and practice, you'll get there too. In the next video, I'll share one more shift that I think will help you. But for now, think about your New Year's resolutions. Rather than focusing on your actions, how can you change the underlying thoughts and beliefs that drive those choices? Please post your ideas on my blog or Facebook page. I'll keep an eye on what you share and help where I can. I look forward to your comments, and I'll see you again soon.